Oh boy, it is time for another episode of Sarge plays an overwhelmingly positive game and doesn't get why everybody likes it so much. Today, we're looking at Citizen Sleeper, a choose-your-own-adventure style text adventure game that everybody seems to absolutely love. But did I love it? Or did I find everybody's response to the game a little questionable? Let's talk about it. You know, one thing I would never question is you liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and becoming a member. Citizen Sleeper starts really strong. It's a choose-your-own-adventure game where you play as a sleeper, essentially a robot person with somebody's consciousness implanted into it. You've escaped from your dystopian work contract and have found yourself on this little ring world thing, and you're just trying to survive. And there's a lot working against you. You need to eat. The body that you are in is deteriorating, and based on how much condition you have each day, you are given a number of dice, which you can then use on actions to help you explore the world that you found yourself in. There's a number of different storylines that are opened up to you, but again, you only have a set number of dice rolls, and the lower your dice roll, the higher the chance that the thing you try to do will fail. Failure can be very punishing, taking away your energy, your hunger level, or dealing damage to your condition. The early game of Citizen Sleeper is awesome. The balance of resources that you have, dice that you're given, the pressure of finding a cure, getting your condition back up, getting enough money to buy food works very well in the early game. Unfortunately, I found that the balance of it all falls apart very quickly. I don't know if I just got lucky with how I did things or what, but I found about halfway through my playtime of the game that I had just sort of cracked it. I had enough money. I was able to get my condition maxed out consistently and without much penalty to me. I was never going hungry. I had enough money to buy whatever I wanted, and so I could just essentially brute force my way through all of the game's storylines. And very quickly, it becomes apparent that there really is no end goal here. You have a goal initially as the sleeper, which is essentially to free yourself, get yourself away from the corporation. You can either do that by disabling the tracker or escaping the world. There's a number of different avenues that you can take. I reached the end of those avenues, but still was only about halfway through the game. And now maybe this was intentional. They wanted the game to be about more than just freeing yourself from the bonds of the corporation, and they wanted it to be about then exploring the world. And to their credit, the number of different storylines and characters that you interact with are all pretty engaging for the most part. But without the pressure there, without the impending doom, it just felt a little more pointless to kind of finish out the game and all those different storylines. In the early game, I felt like I was playing the game with a purpose, but once I got through that and when I was just sort of cleaning up the rest of the storylines, finishing everything out, because I really wasn't struggling with resources, because I wasn't really being hounded by anybody, nobody was really looking out for me, I just kind of felt like I was more checking things off the list to say that I finished them. The game went from feeling like I was playing through my character's story and switched perspectives to me essentially watching the story of all these other characters. Not necessarily a bad thing, but that shift definitely had an impact on my engagement with the game. It felt like I went from playing a game to reading a book. It doesn't help that it's a very text-heavy game. It started to feel like I was reading a book because my character no longer felt like a driving force in the narrative. I think if they had balanced that a little better, if they had kept your stress level up until the last minute, if the game ended when you resolved your situation with the corporation, however that may be, I think that would have been a little better. Sure, maybe you can get rid of the tracker, but then still add some impending doom to your character. But just being able to have as much medicine as you want to heal yourself, as much food as you want, and as much money as you need with nobody really chasing after you, but then still having hours of game left was just a very bad balance. On top of that, there really wasn't that many hard choices in the game. There are a couple, but mostly it didn't feel like the choices I made affected the story too much. for me, it never really felt like I was making difficult decisions. And if I was, it were decisions that affected other people that I was just kind of a passenger on their journey anyway. So it lost a lot of the impact. Overall, I would still say Citizen Sleeper is worth giving a shot, even if you just stop playing halfway through, which I think is an absolutely valid experience with the game. Once you kind of resolve your story, sure, there's more you can do. Sure, you could technically resolve it even more by playing out to the end of some of the storylines, but it was fun. It's a fun little management game, luck game, trying to manage your resources, trying to use the roles that you get. The core there is very good. When you are in that early game where resource management is important, just a little bit of misbalancing towards the end of the game is really all that takes away the stakes, which then takes away a lot of the engagement with the game. Now that said, I did play through the entire game. I played through all the storylines, I did everything, and the storylines are still good, but you just feel like a passenger as opposed to the main character. So as long as you can handle that shift, I still think the game is enjoyable, I still think it's fun, and it's not a game you should sleep on. What do you think? Is Citizen Sleeper worthy of the overwhelmingly positive? Let me know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, and don't sleep on the fact that you can be a member now. I'm working on my own resource management sim where people pay me to make YouTube videos, and then I have money so that I can go buy a burger at McDonald's. So help me out with that, and I will see you all with the next video.